Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Real Men of Real Estate here on KCAA Radio, or 1050 AM and 106.5 FM on that dial. Check us out. Also, Stitcher, Roku, Apple Podcasts. You can find the show just about anywhere. So we just got done talking about kind of what's going on and what to do is coming next. So Patrick, why don't you take it away? What should people be doing now?
Yeah, so we already covered two things. One, don't wait to buy and then wait. Real estate, they always say the best time to buy was yesterday, the second best time is today. So as we're telling our clients based on where interest rates and real estate values are likely to go, buy now, refi later. And we also encourage folks to buy in supply constrained markets. I don't care what you're investing in, stocks, businesses, or real estate. You want to buy stuff where supply is limited and it's not easy to add it. That way you can ensure your investment is well protected and likely to appreciate versus areas where supply can almost infinitely be added. For this reason, I don't invest in the Midwest. I'm from the Midwest. My wife is from the Midwest. We don't buy out there because you just don't make money investing in the Midwest. Some people will say, yeah, but you can cash flow. Sure, cash flow $300 a month, $1,000 a month. That's not going to change your life. Buying $1 million property that doubles in value every 15 years. That's will change your life.
A lot of money. Yeah.
You buy $1 million property with very little down. 15 years later, it's worth $2 million. 30 years later, it's worth $4 million. You just made $3 million doing nothing other than owning it. You didn't have
somebody else paid your mortgage.
That's right. And someone else paid the mortgage. So the challenge a lot of people find, though, and that just doesn't happen in the Midwest. As a guy who lived there for 20 years, it doesn't happen. But it does happen in coastal areas, especially Southern California coastal areas. So a lot of folks, though, they find the biggest challenge is, where do I get the down payment? How do I buy a place? Here's a secret.
It's a lot of money.
California is one of the cheapest places in the world to buy real estate. Now, that sounds crazy because I know
that sounds insane.
So why is it cheap? Because California and local metropolitan areas like the city of San Diego, the county of San Diego, will give you money to buy a house. It sounds too good to be true, but it's true. Look, we are a political organization here in California that likes to help people get a leg up when needed. Heck, when I bought my first house in 2018, I actually got a grant to buy my first place because I was poor. I was living in a garage. So the programs that California and San Diego have now will give you anywhere from $20,000 to $100,000.
Wow, that's real money.
Tax-free to buy your first house. When I bought my first house, the government gave me $10,000 to buy it. Now, it's years later, the government's giving more money. One of my team members just bought his first house this last summer. He got $140,000 from the state of California.
Wow.
And
so how did that work out?
What's that?
How did that work out for him? What were the different programs that
it worked out great? So that one was a California Dream for All, where the income limit was over $200,000. You could make $200,000 a year in California, still gave you money to go buy your first house. San Diego has some programs that were just recent released, both in the city and county of San Diego, where they will give you $20,000 to go towards your down payment and $20,000 to go towards your closing costs.
Wow.
San Diego has another program where they will give you 17% of your down payment and you put down 3%. And you can buy $1 million house with this. So what did I just say? San Diego will give you $170,000 to buy $1 million house. You put down $30,000. And the government's doing this to really help those who need the down payment get into housing. I'd encourage anyone listening to this to check out my YouTube channel because I have a 60-minute webinar presentation on my YouTube channel that does a deep dive into all these down payment assistance programs. And if you go to YouTube and you just type in my name, Kappell, Kappel, Kappell Realty Group. Check out all the videos I got on YouTube, and you'll see not only ways that you can access free money to buy your first house, you can find 60 to 90-minute webinars that do deep economic dives into what's going on in the real estate economy right now, what's going on in the broad economy, and what direction are we going to go? And more importantly, why? Because everyone's got an opinion on what direction the economy and the housing market's going
Don't
to
they
go,
though?
but they don't tell you why. And if someone
Sure.
can't tell me why, I stop listening to them because they don't know what they're talking about. So yeah, check out that YouTube
Okay.
channel and find out how you can get some of that free money. But we've helped a lot of clients this year and get a leg up by accessing 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 of government money to buy your first house. And just about everyone qualifies. Most people that make less than 120,000, most families that make less than 140,000 will typically qualify for one program or another to get some free money
All
to buy a
right.
house.
That's incredible. I didn't realize they went that far.
It makes San Diego one of the cheapest places to buy a house in too, right? When the government's going to buy it for you. The
Sure.
other reason I say it's cheap to live here is sure you buy a house and all of a sudden you got a $4,000 mortgage. You're not going to have a $4,000 mortgage where I grew up in North Dakota unless you buy a mansion.
Right.
However, you can house hack. I did it when I was younger. A lot of our clients do it.
Mhm.
And just as much as our mortgages and our home values are high, so are our rents. In a bedroom in San Diego, in Southern California, will rent for $1,000 to $1,500 a bedroom. So a
Mhm.
lot of our clients will buy a 3-bedroom unit, 3-bedroom house, condo, you name it, or even a duplex, and they'll rent out all the other bedrooms, live in one bedroom themselves, and that's covering the majority of their mortgage. And they've got that asset that's appreciating at about 6% per year.
Wow. All right. That's incredible. So that's pretty great. And so how to get into it? If I'm more on the investor side, if somebody's got a couple of properties and they're already going to this, what would you tell them to do?
If you, first of all, I'd say become one of our clients, because if we'd go in a time machine, we'd go back 2 years and I'd tell you do a cash out refi on all those
Mm,
properties you already own. I can't, it blows my mind how many investors I know that have a bunch of real estate right now that they've owned for 5, 10, 15 years, but they don't have a bunch of cash. And I ask them, why didn't you do a cash out
mhm.
refinance in
Yeah, when the rates were
2021?
down. Yep.
And they'll all say, well, I refinanced, but I didn't do a cash out. Well, why not? Because nobody told me. That's why you work with and you hire a good real estate team, a good real estate broker, an advisor who's not there just to sell you a house and then walk away from you for the rest of your life, but who advises you throughout your life. So my team, when we take on a client, it's not for a transaction, it's for a lifetime. We host client parties, usually 2 or 3 of them a year, and we advise our clients every quarter, every month, what to do with their house, what to do with their investments, what decisions to make, and most importantly, why. You always got to tell a client the why. So yeah, if you're someone out there who owns a few properties and you're looking at what should I do, I'd recommend just reach out to me. And again, be on YouTube. You just type my name into Google, Patrick Kappell, and you'll find lots of websites on me, lots of information on me, and it's pretty easy to contact me and get a hold of me.
All right. Fantastic. So then with the with what we have coming next, do you think interest rates are coming down? People should be
Yep.
buying. And
Yep.
so by now, what else does somebody need to know to take advantage of this? You know, what maybe are some markers in the economy that they can watch so that if they're maybe not sure when to strike, when can they get going? You know, if they just want to do their own research.
The most important thing, I pay attention to a few things like Housing Wire, the UCLA quarterly economic
Uh-huh.
forecast. There's one thing I see hold people back more than anything else, and it's always the same thing. Call it like a Tyrannosaurus Rex if you want. So one thing that is always killing people, always stopping people from moving forward. Dan, what do you think that is?
Probably knowing what they really want.
No, most
No?
people know what they want.
Okay.
They want real estate. They want to be wealthy. They want to be financially free. They want to take trips. They want to have time for their family. Everybody wants it. The number one thing that holds almost everyone back is themselves. And how does that play out? They come up with excuses. Look,
Hmm.
you can listen to people that tell you the sky is falling. You should not buy. There's a crash on the horizon. Or you can listen to optimistic people that say, look, you've got 30 more years of life ahead of you. You got 50 more years of life. No matter what happens in the next day or two, you got a lot of time to get through a lot of storms. If you're the type of person that listens to pessimists, that the sky is always falling, the market's always going to crash, I'll tell you right now, you will never be wealthy unless you inherit it. You will never build a real estate portfolio because you listen to the people telling you not to do something.
Right.
You need to become the person that listens to people telling you to do something, to take action. The only person that loses in the game of life is a person who doesn't do anything.
Those who sit on the sidelines, right?
Oh, and I'll tell you what, man, I have known people that for 10 years they've been saying there's going to be a major market crash. Don't buy real estate.
I know a
And
couple of those
people today are sitting at home, probably crying, wishing they would have bought in the last 10 years.
So it's always the right time to buy right now, right?
Don't listen to the Chicken Littles. And I'll leave it on this note too. I always like to say this, and I'm not saying this because I think you should go buy a bad deal. Don't. But here's the truth. The idiot who bought a bad real estate deal in 1992 and held on to that property is way wealthier than the idiot who never bought anything.
Be the right kind of idiot.
Yeah. Now that said, what about the smart guy who bought the right deal, the best deal in 1992, and really fill in the blank, 93, 95, 2001, whatever. But buy the right deal, work with the right team, man. And it does bother me to some extent how commoditized real estate agents have been, because everyone, probably half of your moms out there and your aunts, your uncles, your friends have real estate licenses. Way too easy to get a real estate license, in my opinion. Don't work with someone just because they have a real estate license and you know them and you like them. Work with someone because they're going to make you wealthy. They're going to find you the best deal. Work with someone who does this as a full-time profession.
I got it. All right, we got to take a break. So folks, we'll be back right after these messages.